I'm excited because we have over 100 students who are getting $151,000 in scholarships. And our pastors have made sure that this is possible for more than 35 years. That's amazing. Ebenezer has always been a place of community, faith, and support. And today we add another layer of pride and joy, and that's to recognize the hard work and dedication of our young scholars. The education ministry, thank you for your unwavering time and support for every last one of our scholarship recipients and making sure that they feel supported, not just now, but throughout the year. To our scholarship recipients, you have shown exemplary dedication to your studies, unwavering perseverance in the face of challenges, because I know you've had some, and a commitment to your dreams and goals. Your achievements are not only a testament to your intelligence and diligence, but also to the values and principles that your parents, your schools, and your Ebenezer Church family have bestowed upon you. If you were to cut on the news today, you would think that we weren't doing great things. But today, it is a living testament. It shows you that greatness comes from us. While enrollment is high, it is up in higher education with Black students outpacing white students. The biggest obstacles our students still face are the cost of college, a lack of support, and implicit and overt forms of racial discrimination. I am sure our ancestors thought that we would not have to experience these types of obstacles today, but we are. The African proverb comes to mind: it takes a village to raise a child. And when I think about all that you, our students, have had to experience, I hope you know that you have an entire church family praying for you and working to make sure that you're able to develop, flourish, and realize your hopes and dreams. I promise not to be before you long, but today I'd like to talk to you about a concept that's both challenging and transformative. It's called divine disruptions. Turn to your neighbor and say, divine disruption. Divine is anything related to or coming from God. And Webster's dictionary defines disruption as a disturbance or problem which interrupts an event, an activity, or a process. In our lives, we often find ourselves carefully planning our paths, setting goals, and envisioning our futures. We take comfort in predictability and stability, believing that if we work hard and follow the rules, everything will unfold according to our plans. But sometimes, life throws us a curveball or an interruption. I don't know about you, but I've had a few interruptions in my life. As a college student, I had interruptions that caused me not to focus on school like I should. For example, when I was interrupted by my lack of ability to effectively manage my time between studying and having a social life. That's better known as deciding to go to the party and not studying when I should have. And that didn't happen just once, Mom. It happened more than once. I was interrupted when I started at Florida A&M University, go Rattlers, as an electrical engineering major. We took classes with students from Florida State University. And what I came to learn after I took thermodynamics, that a low C at Florida A&M was considered a failing grade, while a low C at Florida State University was considered a passing grade. That seemed completely unfair to me. Not only because I had to call my parent and tell her that, oh, that low C is not passing and I need to take that class again, but it also was unfair for every student that sat in that room that was Black and brown. So what did I do? I decided to join in with my classmates to do a sit-in until the dean of the School of Engineering heard our plea. It took a year and a half after our sit-in before the universities worked together to create an equitable grading system for all students. But trust me, by that time I had changed my major. I couldn't wait on them. And I knew now that that change made a major difference in my life. Had I not had that change, I would not have been the second female superintendent for the 20th largest school district in the country. And if that was not enough to shake up my mom's spiritual beliefs and my dad's, I had another interruption my senior year, when I committed to my parents that I would save all of my summer internship funds to help pay for my last year in school. Well, that did not happen. And I never told my parents that I didn't have all the money. Because you see, what I was not going to do was call and tell them that I had to come home. So what did I do? I sat outside of President Frederick Humphrey's office for 3 days until he saw me. When he finally saw me, I told him the truth. He picked up the phone, called the scholarship office, and gave me every last penny I needed. And he proudly said to me, "I better see you walk across that stage." I told him, "Don't you worry, don't you fret." And I was there. Parents, you may get a text message, because kids don't call anymore, about an interruption on their college journey. Don't be weary, pray, and know that God will work it all out for good. As a parent, I received one of those text messages from my son on the day of his graduation. Oh yeah, I had to clutch my pearls. He texted to tell me that at the university he decided to attend, that he had decided that he would walk out during the commencement speech. You see, he did not attend an HBCU, which when he said it, I thought to myself, I should have forced that boy to go to a HBCU. He did not. He went to Virginia Commonwealth University, and the university decided to have the governor of the state of Virginia be the keynote speaker. 10 minutes before it was time for him to walk out, he texted me to tell me, "There's a chance that I am going to stand up and walk out when the governor gets up to speak, for he does not exemplify what I believe in." And so I sat there quietly, not telling all my family that was sitting right there next to me what could potentially happen. And lo and behold, when the governor got up, my child was one of 1,000 students who stood up and walked out. I looked over at my mother, and she said, "Train a child in a way that they should go, and when they grow old, they shall not depart from it." So what did? We stood up and we walked out too. Now, I am grateful that he had a second graduation that same day. Don't get it wrong. Thank God now they have two, one a large one and one for their college or university, and so I still have the opportunity to see him walk across that stage. But I can tell you I was never more proud of him on that day. And I knew then that he was ready for the world. From the stories I've told you this morning, I'm sure you're thinking I had a very eventful undergraduate experience. And I'm here to tell you I did. And I would not change a single thing about it, because there is no doubt in my mind that I would not be the woman that I am today had it not been for the support and foundation of my 3 HBCUs. Yes. And what I also quickly came to realize is that there are lots of interruptions in life, but they're only temporary. But now there are times that when we will encounter unexpected events that shake the very foundation of our carefully laid plans. These moments, which we often perceive as disruptions, can be unsettling and bewildering. Yet, within these disruptions, there's often a divine purpose at work. These disruptions can take many forms: a sudden career change, a change in your major, an unexpected illness, a relationship that ends, or even a global pandemic. While these experiences can be challenging, they're also opportunities for growth, transformation, and a deeper connection to God. The longer you live, the more you desire to have interruptions in your life instead of disruptions. But I'm here to tell you that disruptions are God's way to accelerate His will and to clarify His calling, not yours. Divine disruption, therefore, is God's way of graciously interrupting the affairs of Christians. I like to think that God created a divine disruption in the milestone decision of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, where the Supreme Court ruled that segregating children in public schools based on race was unconstitutional. It signaled the end of legalized racial segregation in schools in the U.S. I'd like to think that God created a divine disruption before the Civil War with the opening of HBCUs like Cheyney University, University of the District of Columbia, and Wilberforce University to address the lack of educational opportunities for Black Americans. These universities helped to pave the way for the 107 HBCUs that are open today. I'd like to think that God created a divine disruption when Rosa Parks refused to relinquish her seat on a public bus, which precipitated the Montgomery bus boycott in Alabama and became the spark that ignited the civil rights movement of the United States. I'd like to think that God created a divine disruption with the start of the Black Lives Matter movement, which started as a response to police violence against Blacks, but turned into a movement that advocates for justice, equality, and the end of systemic racism. But I know that God created a divine disruption when Barack Obama was elected and became the first African-American president of the United States. You see, divine disruptions are not just significant historical events, but also personal milestones that shape our journeys. In every instance of a divine disruption, God used His people to make a change in society. Today, we have before us over 100 divine disruptors. Those are our scholars. They're the students sitting before us that are going to change the world. For example, Chandler Brown, a student at Alabama State University, will disrupt the nation as a researcher that delves into the effects of adverse experiences due to systemic discrepancies to explore innovative solutions and reversal techniques for marginalized groups of youth around the world. She said it, not me. I know that Lily Thornton will disrupt the nation when she becomes a neuro-oncologist to study how the brain works, brain abnormalities, and finds the least invasive cure to cancer. And she plans to create an equitable healthcare system by fighting systemic oppressions and biases that have blocked minorities from receiving the aid required for health. She said that, not me. Or Dylan Bullock, that will disrupt the nation when he becomes a sports broadcaster for ESPN, CBS, or Fox, unlike any other broadcasters in the nation. He said that. Mackenzie Cleveland, a student at Hampton University, will disrupt the nation when she starts her own architectural firm that will design beautiful, well-planned communities, particularly for low-income families, so that people living there can live healthier, more enriched lives. I ain't say that, Mackenzie said it. Or Mari, who attended South University in Georgia, will disrupt the nation when she opens her own school and community center that offers spiritual counseling to children and teens. And hopefully she'll be the next superintendent from Ebenezer at Prince George's County Public Schools. Zari Thali will disrupt the nation when she becomes a set production designer and also launches her own company called Z-Ring, which aims to provide dance tights for all skin complexions, ensuring dancers feel comfortable in their skin. Zori said that. And then we will have a trifecta with Tori, Kelsey, and Kyle in aviation. Tory Ridgway will disrupt the nation when he redesigns airframes and helps to make planes more aerodynamic and tougher at the same time as the first aerospace engineer with autism. Kelsey, yes, Tory. Kelsey will disrupt the nation when she obtains her aviation private pilot's license and then ultimately establish and leads her own data business, leveraging cutting-edge technology to provide innovative solutions and services to underserved communities. And lastly, Kyle, who will disrupt the nation when he becomes a commercial pilot and eventually becomes a first captain to fly domestically and internationally. I could go on and on and on about our amazing scholars. Each of our scholars today, we honor them. They embody the spirit of divine disruption. They are the catalysts for change, the bearers of hope, and the architects of a better future. Every disruption you encounter, whether personal or societal, is an opportunity for growth, innovation, and transformation. Embrace these moments, for they are God's way of steering you toward your true calling. I encourage you to reflect on your own life. Think about the times that you have experienced disruptions. Those moments when your plans were upended and you were forced to take a different path. Consider how those experiences, those challenges have shaped you, strengthened your faith, and perhaps have even led you to unexpected blessings. Turn to your neighbor now and tell them, I am a divine disruptor. And I am blessed that God chose me to be that divine disruptor. Yes. As a community of faith, we can support one another through these times of divine disruptions. We can offer compassion, support, understanding, and encouragement, reminding each other that God is with us in every twist and turn of this journey. Let us be open to the ways in which God is working in our lives, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Let us trust that these disruptions are not obstacles, but opportunities for a deeper relationship with God and a fuller realization of His plan for you. I leave you with two of my favorite scriptures. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, scholars. Plans to give you hope and a future. And Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. May we embrace divine disruptions with faith and courage, knowing that God's plans for us are always for His good and His glory. Thank you, and may God continue to bless you.